barely long enough. But it'll have to do. They were the longest I could get on Amazon anyway. I'm sure there's a better place to get them, but nothing that would do next day delivery, so. Alright, so we'll have to start by unpeeling all the tape. To free our bracelets. It is kind of stuck, but yeah. Move the mouse out of my way. Welcome back. Tried to lift up when I left this, but of course, as glue does, it restuck to the plate. No, all might is great. Although that's not specifically just his thing. That has been around from others before. Can't remember what exactly, but industrial glue. I might have to actually cut the glue. It's strange since I haven't changed anything, but yeah, I moved the mic a little closer. We'll try that. Right. Freed at last. So the next thing would be to cut all of these strands of string, you know, obviously trying not to cut your actual glue in knots. So even with the mic moved closer, it still sounds bad? Ah, okay. I was like, I didn't change anything, it should sound the same. Alright, I'm going to move that to the side. I'm going to take our... I'm also going to try to move this down, so... reach so far to do this work. There we go. Alright. So now the next step is to put glue in this, like that kind of deal, when we get it on the thing. I believe Sushi, well, she probably took my seat again, so she's there, that's her. I do wonder if the E600 that she used in the video is less stringy than this glue, because this glue tends to be very stringy when you pick it up. Like, it's hard to get it to stop doing that and hold nicely. Open that a little more. I don't have a whole lot of space to work with, so I should need a little less. In retrospect, it might be easier just to open this other side. Get the glue in and then close it. It's very hard to move it. It does not like to move open, which I guess is good for security, but bad when you're trying to do it yourself. Now I'm just trying to press it back closed. Alright. I will use a Kleenex to clear away some of the glue that's sort of sticking out. And I'll try putting just another little globule in. I can get it to stop stringing. Alright, and now we come for the hard part. Fitting it through with the beads. It slid on very easily, comparatively. And I think it's because I have this like extra glue chunks that I'm having to scrunch crunch in. To the end. Now I'm gonna kind of trim this a little. And now we put a dabble here. So to make sure that it all holds together. As you can see how this one bead kind of sticks out a little. It's the best I could do. I could not get any larger clasp. Now I'm gonna just use the table to push it down. But I am sure she will understand. Kind of popped out a little. I had to put it back in. Alright. Well, yeah, it didn't hold. Like you can tell it's somewhat forcing its way here. So I'll have to try to do a little better on the other side. The glue doesn't make it easier, it just makes it stay clasped better. Like now that there's glue leading it through, it's just going to make sure that it stays locked in all together. So nothing will take this clasp off, basically. At least that's as far as I understand it. I'm going to do a little extra trimming on these because of how much trouble it gave me in that last one. We all learn, right? That should be good. Alright. And yeah, all cats usually like to bird watch. So I'm going to open these sides a little better. I don't have much space to show that under camera, so you'll just have to trust that's what I'm doing. The ends of these clasps are like very difficult to work with. Especially to open it more. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. I think this is still good to use. You know, it's a waste, but I have a humongous tube. I'm just going to get some fresh glue so it's not clumpy. Somehow I don't think I have to worry about using up all of this glue that I have. And even still, I don't mind wasting it because I don't like how stringy it is. There we go. It still likes to string. Sheesh. The one she used in the video did not string up as much, so I think it was a better type of glue, but I trusted their store to have what would be correct as well. I should have just trusted what she said in the video. Alright. Okay. Trimming that up helped a lot. I left both sides open to sort of help even them out more. Not that much glue there. Just a little dab. Little dab on this side. It's being very difficult for me. I don't know if it would help to have a wooden pick instead of a metal one too, but you know, you use what you have. Trying to close the sides now, not working too well. There's one. This one's open too wide for me. I should have, okay. There we go. Okay. Now these ones are gapped a little bit more because I didn't want it to make the beads sit unwell here. I don't like how that turned out and how this turned out, and I hope it doesn't break or pull too easily now because of that. It doesn't really have it sit flat there anymore either now. So that's kind of yuck, but it is what it is, and she knows I'm new to all of this, so I'm sure she's not gonna hate it. I suppose jewelry pliers would help. They're just so the smallest little tiny clasps, you know. So at least that's done. The glue will dry, of course, on its own. So I'm going to start hooking up the chains and stuff. I have jewelry pliers around here somewhere. Which idea how these chains look, so we're just gonna yank them out and see. Well, these are tiny. Let's see what this other bag offers. Ooh, whoa. Literally just little loops. Okay, so that's how that works. Not sure how to build that. I kind of expected that to be in chains, so give me a second. Didn't realize I was sitting on my tapestry and pulling it. All right. So, there's these little guys, which I think, I don't know what they're for. And then these singular, I got pliers. So I know you do this sort of thing where you loop this through your clam, I think. And then I'm assuming one of these. Sorry, I'm doing this off camera. I gotta be kind of close to see what the hell I'm doing, but okay. So, yeah, I looped a ring through one of these, and then on the chain, and loop the chain on the ring, and then use the pliers to kind of close it together. This isn't going to make it long enough for her. I don't think at all. You have to build your own chain. So like each one of these, you know, because that would be insane if I had to build a long chain per loop. That would take forever. But I'm wondering if I kind of just add chains to these links and make the links sort of like what connects all the chains together. If that makes sense. But let's start with just one chain on each side and see how that hooks around my wrist to see if it needs more oomph. In the meantime, I had the weirdest dream the other night. there's a streamer that I watch on YouTube, I don't really watch his Twitch, named Atrioc. And I was hanging out with him, which, you know, would never happen. But at one point, he came on to me. And, I had this, like, you know, this is weird, but Zach's gone, so it's okay kind of thing. And, he was being really kind about it. Are you sure you could do this? Blah, blah, blah. Trying to be, like, all supportive and okay with it. And I'm like, yeah, you just gotta give me some time and, you know, I can do it. And he undressed and got in the bed, and I, was like taking my time to get up the courage to go into the bed. And I remember feeling like it was like I was cheating on Zach, which, you know, is kind of a big reason why I'm never gonna be with another man, because I cannot handle that. But in the dream I was like, no, it's okay, Zach's gone, it's not cheating, I just gotta give myself courage. And I got into the bed with him and we started, you know, working towards stuff. I woke up though feeling kind of dirty, and like Atrioc's married too, and he does not strike me as cheater, but in the dream he wasn't married at all. Yeah, it was just a really weird dream that I would, and you know, I'm not against widows who like remarry or date again, you know, that considering how lonely I feel, I totally get why. Like, I completely understand it. But I'm just not that kind. Like, Zach and I spoke about it before, that if anything happened to the other person, we wouldn't ever, like, be able to hook up with anybody else. Because, yeah, like, well, we felt like this was it. Like, he and I were meant for each other, and that was all there was. And I kind of still believe that. That didn't go away, so I really felt dirty when I woke up from that. But, you know, if on very slim, minute chance Atrioc ever sees this, don't worry, you were a gentleman and very caring. Yeah, dreams are crazy. I know some people think like they're a glimpse into other realities, and I just do not see a reality where that ever happens, but you know. Alright. Well, this does fit barely on my wrist, so it actually might fit hers. It looks so silly to have this, like, actual bracelet, and then, you know, it's just gonna be chain only there, but I'm sure she'll understand. So I could just tell her that I can bring more chains and loops if she needs them. I'm trying to make this last loop sort of come together more evenly, though. As far as grief talk goes, I was trying to think of like ideas for healthy ways to grieve, because it's important to do it healthily and not like fall into vices, you know. And don't get me wrong, I have had weed and I am not against it, but you don't want to have that be a crutch on getting through your pain, because then it won't. You'll just be escaping instead of facing it. So, obviously, things like this is good. Not necessarily that you have to get into bead looming, but some kind of hands-on projects that you can do. Some, like, I don't know, wood carving or drawing or computer programming. You know, anything that has to do with seeing results, too, I think is very valuable. Thank you. I think it looks great, too. But definitely results help, because like me doing this and then seeing what I've made off the loom after, at least I can feel like I've accomplished something. Glad I did have these pliers though. Obviously there's things like I play video games, and that's a good distraction too. Sometimes though it gets hard to like reconcile having a decent time playing the game, and then afterwards I'm like, well, that would have been a lot more fun if he was here, you know. And I have to try to like, I mean, I know like I'll feel guilty, and then I accept that I do and try to just be like, I shouldn't feel guilty. It's more like acknowledging and accepting that you feel it so that you can try to move past it and, you know, obviously try other things. Exercise is important. I do lack in doing that. I have been trying to I've been thinking about going on trail walks and stuff, because we have a lot of trails around here, but it keeps on snowing and raining and being miserable outside, so I don't really want to deal with that in the cold. But I'll let you know whenever I do. But getting out into nature is just generally healing as well. There's something just about how nature, I don't know, the energy's out there is the best way I can put it. Nature's a good healer. So I think if you can do that, go out into some nice naturey spot. Of course, if your area is full of a bunch of bugs, that might be the exact opposite of helpful. So I don't want to go in the summer here, because we do get a lot of bugs. That's why I'm hoping to get it like when it's just before everything wakes up, but it keeps on snowing, so. Meditating's good. That's had many even scientific studies and points basically explaining how meditating can be good for you. And there's different kinds, so don't just be like sitting in a corner with your legs crossed saying Om and wondering why it's not working. Look up different kinds. There's visual meditation, there's even physical meditation I found out the other day. And so maybe if there's something that doesn't work for you, if just trying to still your mind doesn't work, then you might need physical meditation, or you might need visuals. And I do tend to be kind of like a visual person as well. I can do it without visuals, but then I find that I need some kind of music or like a running stream going in the background or something to focus on, since it's all about trying to basically stop thinking about your day, what's going on, how much pain you're in. You know, you need to stop thinking about your life and who you are, and just let your mind be and wander. And that doesn't mean that if you don't, like, achieve thinking of nothing, you did it wrong. Because I have meditated a lot, and I have thought of visions and things that I've seen that I do believe was still me meditating, even though, like, my mind was clearly visualizing this stuff, so. start getting dry. So what would be good too would be meditating out in some nature-y place, you know? That's something I really do want to try, but like I said, it's been snowy and cold and raining, so hopefully that'll change eventually. There's also this meditation helper thing. I gotta try to remember the name of it. But you wear it around your head and it apparently measures your brain waves while you're doing it. So you listen to something through their app, and if it notices your mind is like going busy, then the noise, like say you're listening to rain, will pick up louder and become more like vibrant to sort of audibly let you know, hey, your mind is wandering away. Bring it back to the meditation. I've never tried it, but I think that would be kind of cool to buy sometime and take a look. And just find a good support group. It's really, really important to be social during this time. Isolation is the worst on any kind of depression, never mind grief. And grief is the one that you want to isolate the most in because of how painful you feel. But if your group of friends are not giving you comfort, then you need to go somewhere to people who will. I think the best thing is some kind of support group. You can find them online if you can't find it in your area. I think grief shares pretty much everywhere. And even if you're not Christian, like I said, I'm not, and I go. A lot of the lessons can be helpful. There's still things you can gather from it, and then just ignore all the God stuff. That's kind of what I do. So, and you'll find like the people usually are what you're kind of going for anyway. These other people who are suffering just like you are, so that you're not alone. That's where I get most of my value from Grief Share. Less about the, lessons in the video and more about the people I go to see and talk to, and they understand. If you're not feeling good and you start crying, which I did last Monday when they asked me how I was doing, I said I wasn't doing great. I explained how I got triggered by seeing his resume and that it just made me start sobbing, and then we started talking a little and I just started crying about simple things, you know? That particular lesson was about why did this happen. Of course they went on to talk about God's plan and all that, so that answer didn't really help me. But then I went to r/widowers and posted it there and was like, I know there's no answer, but it helped to receive messages and replies from that other people, like either they're like me, they go to Grief Share even though they aren't Christian because it helps them, or some of them are. Heck, I had one commenter say that he went and he honestly doesn't vibe with the whole God's plan thing, even though he is a Christian, so it's like, you just need to find your people to let it out with and to get that sympathy and empathy back. I think that is very valuable. Yeah, and that would work. You'd be out in nature too. Sorry, I didn't read your message until now. So, lots of plants would help to be around nature. If I fear that I would kill any plant that I would own, so I'm more like I'm just gonna go out and find them. Especially with all my cats, they would definitely want to eat the plant, and then I'd have to keep it in this room to keep it safe, and then what's the point? It's in a room that I barely could walk into, so yeah, just hang in there. Keep going. I think that is another most important thing. Just keep plugging along. I'm not gonna say time heals, time gets better, because I kind of don't like hearing that myself, especially when you're in the thick of the pain. But I will say that if you keep going, there are going to be times where you realize, I can do this, and there's still going to be times where you think, this is pain. But there will be times where you actually finally realize, I can do this. So... yeah, I knew what you meant, Mom. I don't have a nice place I'd like to put that up anyway in my area. So, I'll just go find them. Alright, I think I'll just end this a bit early after all of that, because I did finish. And I can bring this to her Monday, and I am so happy for that. It is the smallest bracelet alive, but it'll do. And I think she'll just be happy that I made something for her. And at least I do like it. It's very adorable. The cookie and cupcakes. Although the dark brown and the light brown don't show up as well in person as it does on camera, ironically. Yeah, and you know, this part pinched too hard, so that's unfortunate. But I don't think she'll hate it. And yeah. Yeah, exactly. Intent does matter. So I think the fact that I'm just doing it to try to cheer her up should mean something for sure. So, thank you for joining me. I think I will take a few days to be in my pain and finish playing some of my games. And then probably next week I will try to do a little bit of a tarot stream. Try to do some readings and stuff. I hope this message reaches somebody who needs to hear it. And I hope everybody has a good time and a good life, and that things go well for them. So, sending love to everybody and anyone who needs it. You are not alone. Heck, feel free to message me if you need to cry. I don't mind. Alright. Love you all, and okay, bye!